Yo, soon as that doom 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 used to come on, the crowd pop used to be boom. I'm telling you. And soon as she actually come out with the so fuck your rules, man. Yo, I'm telling you, crowd used to shit was explosive. Explosive. What's up? My name is Ashley, and this is my reaction to 10 things WWE wants you to forget about Lita. Now, growing up, I was a huge wrestling fan, and my number one was Lita. Sorry if you hear someone snoring in the background. That's just my 2-year-old niece Sage. But anyways, Lita was my favorite. Like she still is today. I don't watch wrestling anymore, but from the moment she came in, Sunday Night Heat. Yes, I used to watch Sunday Night Heat too. When she came in with Sunday Night Heat with S.A. Rios, they had the matching long red hair, the matching, red outfits. And with S.A. Rios, finished his first match, hitting that beautiful ass moonsault. And Lita got on that top rope and then hit the moonsault after him after the match was over on the same dude. You gotta understand, as a young girl, that was mind blowing. I mean, you got girls out here, female wrestlers or divas as they call them now, who do that, that do stuff like that, high flying stuff all the time now. But at the time, there wasn't girls in the WWE doing shit like that. A moonsault, nonetheless. So that was like a big deal to me, and she remained my favorite. Lita was one of those people who could have easily went through their whole career as a baby face, as a face, and she really could have because she was that popular. But at the end, by the end of her career, she did become a heel, and it turned out she became a great heel. Now at the time, I was in my feelings about it because Lita was my favorite. I was hurt, the way she was being treated and stuff like that. But looking back, now I'm much older. Looking back on that time, she made a fucking amazing heel. It was like, it's like this motherfucker, So yeah, yeah, this should be an interesting video. I wonder what's going to be up here because there's been some sketchy shit concerning Lita's storylines or whatever. The Kane shit, that Kane pregnancy thing. I'm pretty sure that's going to be up here. It has to be up here because that shit was. And it turned like some Stockholm syndrome type of shit. And then what's his name, Snitsky or whatever his name was. Shit was weird. It was like, what the fuck. But anyways, you ready? Let's go.
Lita has done it all in the WWE, going from being the biggest female babyface on the roster when working with the Hardy Boys and utilizing the crowd-popping combination of acrobatics and thongs, all the way to being the biggest heel, drawing nuclear heat after cheating on Matt Hardy with Edge. She's a 4-time women's champion and a Hall of Famer, and she's missed. But it hasn't all been golden. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 things WWE want you to forget about Lita. Number 10, showing a boob on Raw.
Oh,
Live sex celebration. Now, this was originally going to be number 1 because it's 2 people having sex on air in a bed surrounded by thousands of people who just did not know what to do with
yes,
themselves.
that shit was so
But
fucking
actually,
weird.
it ranks low on the list because it's just so compellingly strange that the WWE don't actually want you to forget about it all that much. It was featured on the most recent episode of network exclusive Jerry Springer's Too Hot for TV, and Edge even mentioned it in his retirement speech. What WWE definitely want you to forget is that Lita's boob was briefly on display during the segment. Now, as we all know, female breasts are the devil and must be scrubbed from our TVs with bleach. Remember the public sex, everybody, but don't you dare remember the nipple. Number 6, she debuted in ECW. Now, this is perhaps something that younger fans won't know, but Lita didn't debut with the Hardy Boys. She didn't even debut with S.A. Rios, the red-headed dude that no one remembers. In fact, Lita's debut working for a major promotion was with ECW. Lita can run her
Congeniality or some shit like
way
that.
before she was doing it for Vince. In 1999, she made her first appearance as Miss Congeniality, the girlfriend of Danny Doring, who looks like Owen Hart's frat boy brother. She then wrestled as Angelica, even getting elbow dropped through a table by Sabu. Now, she was part of the original Team Extreme. But this isn't a blot on her career, don't think of it like that. But WWE like to think that they discover all their talent, so they prefer you to think of her as Lita and nothing else. Number 8, she was a hoe. Choo-choo. All aboard the hoe train.
Yes,
You know,
she was part of his hoes.
Traveling harem of ladies who didn't mind appearing in front of a live crowd dressed as actual, literal hookers. The first appearance by Lita in the WWE? Yep, she was one of the scantily clad babes that Godfather would offer to people in exchange for
Godfather's
favors.
hoes.
Now call me crazy, but I don't think this was part of her Hall of Fame induction package. Number 7, being fired by Bischoff. In 2002, Lita cracked several vertebrae in her neck whilst filming Dark Angel, aka Powerless in Seattle. Whilst recuperating, Lita stuck around on TV, even acting as female commentator on Sunday Night Heat. Months before she was set to make her return to in-ring competition in order to keep her off TV, in order to give her a big boost on returning, Lita was kayfabe fired from the WWE by Eric Bischoff, the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, crossed with Tom Cruise's pervert cousin. Now that's fair enough, good way to get heat on Bischoff and good way for Lita to disappear, except what he fired her for, which was refusing to follow in Tori Wilson's footsteps and pose nude for Playboy.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay, there's being a bad boss, and then there's firing someone for exercising autonomy over their body. That would not be okay today.
Yeah, it would not be okay today. There's a lot of shit that happened in wrestling back in the day.
The Mickie James angle was originally written for Lita. Remember the Mickie James Trish Stratus stalker angle? It was pretty darn good. Sure, it was a bit sexy, crazy, women sexy, but it made a star out of James, made Trish look good, and gave us one of the best women's matches in WrestleMania history. Botched ending aside, it went so well, in fact, that WWE would like you to forget it was originally written for Lita. It kind of makes more sense. Mickie James looks a bit more like Lita. The two were already good
Lita
friends
ended up
prior
turning
to James
heel,
coming to the WWE. But at the last moment, Lita was replaced after, she got a little busy in late 2005 dealing with a certain affair being made public. Number 5, she was supposed to win the title at WrestleMania 21. Lita versus Trish is probably the best women's rivalry in WWE history. At least until the 4 horsewomen make themselves comfortable on the main roster. The feud was so hot that in December 2004, the two ladies did what no woman had ever done before. They main-evented Raw. On that night, Lita beat Trish Stratus for her women's title one-on-one. Trish then won it back at New Year's Revolution in January, and the stage was set for the feud to be blown off in grand fashion at WrestleMania 21 with Lita going over. Unfortunately, Lita tore the ACL on her left knee at Revolution, sidelining her shit up. Which is tragic, because after all the hard work that both women have put in, they never got their one-on-one match at WrestleMania.
And she never got those injuries, man. She would have won a lot more championships.
To just forget all about what could have been.
Yeah.
Number 4, Crime Time selling her pants. Mickie James did get her feud with Lita eventually, but she had to wait till later in the year. At Survivor Series 2006, Lita was the women's champion and announced that her match against Mickie James was to be her retirement match. Now, normally when a superstar retires from active competition, especially one as beloved as Lita used to be, it's in a tearful ceremony or an emotional speech or a standing ovation.
Lita not only lost her retirement match.
Not so for Lita. She was still the slattern heel that she'd become.
You know, Trish won hers against Mickie James.
So she was utterly humiliated on her way out. After being beaten by Mickie James, out came Crime Time, who were 2 black people thugs who committed crimes. That's a whole lot to unpack right there. We don't have the time. They had a box of her bras and panties and began to sell it to the public as Lita freaked out in the ring. They let JBL sniff her pants before he bought them, and they even sold her treatment cream for a
That shit was so fucked up. That shit pissed me off. It was one of the reasons what turned me off from wrestling.
And good luck with all your future endeavors.
That shit pissed me off.
Yikes. Number 3, she was beaten up by men all the time. It's a point we've made before in these videos, but man-on-woman violence is a huge no-no in today's
they don't do that shit no more, which is it's actually upsetting for me.
Happen. It will not happen.
I miss those. The intergender matches.
All the craps they gave about that into a thing.
Battle of the Sexes.
Not only was Lita 3D'd several times by the Dudley, she was put through tables, speared by Edge,
used to get manhandled.
Quite uncomfortable today.
Stone Cold, Triple H.
Steve Austin and Triple H. Not only was she given the pedigree, but Austin hit her with a stunner and with a chair 9 times. Bloody 9. That's savage. That's Randy Savage.
Randy Savage.
It was a different
That shit was crazy.
Number 2, being raped by Kane. Oh, okay.
This shit.
Kane. Remember him? Big bald man, snarling, looks like a crazy pickled egg. Well, his storyline with Lita was the worst. The worst.
Kane used to get all the fuckery storylines. Why are we doing that to him?
Ladies is a fun day at the office, it seems. He threatened to murder her boyfriend Matt Hardy unless she submitted to his horrible desires. A few weeks later, it's revealed that Lita is pregnant and Kane is the father. So, Kane impregnated Lita against her will. Then he married her, again against her will. And at this stage, I should really point out that the E in WWE stands for entertainment. I'm just going to say that and move quickly on.
That shit
Number 1, the miscarriage. Oh, no, I wanted to move quickly on. Okay, nope. So Lita is kayfabe pregnant by this point, married to a man who kidnapped her and slept with her under duress. Then Snitsky gets involved. Doesn't he look cuddly in the head? Snitsky hits Kane with a chair and he falls on Lita, which we're later told caused her to miscarry.
It wasn't my fault.
What do you say to that? Mummy, what's a miscarriage? But at least Snitsky got a "it wasn't my fault" catchphrase out of it. Yeah. It wasn't his fault. Lol. And then Lita fell in love with Kane for beating up Snitsky, rewarding the kidnapper
that weird ass Stockholm syndrome.
This is just so utterly screwed up, it's pretty much a waste of time to even try and unpack it. So instead, here's Snitsky punting. I'm
laughing about that, but I remember that.
WWE. Hooray. And that's our list. If you missed any out, tell us about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you can even follow me on Twitter here.
That was a weird ass fucking storyline.
And I'll see you soon.
It's like, why did y'all do that? Okay, that was good. That was a video. Gosh, that was a video by What Culture Wrestling. There will be a link to the original video down below if you want to watch that. If I spoke over anything. Any wrestling fans out there, what do you think about Lita and the list? Is there something that you would have added onto the list? I can't think of anything right now because all I'm thinking about that fucking weird ass Kane storyline. I hated that fucking the way she went out, her retirement. I hated that she lost her retirement match, for one. Like, after everything, you know, she was a major female wrestler in the company. And even though she was a heel, I still said she should have won her retirement match. So since Trish Stratus won hers against Mickie James a few months prior, you know, and Trish Stratus, I know Trish Stratus is a lot of people's favorite female wrestler, and you know, I can't knock that. But Lita was always mine. Them two usually a lot get put, you know, top two. You know, if it's not Trish at number 1, then it's Lita. If it's not Lita, then it's Trish. Which makes sense because their career started, you know, around the same time, like a few months apart, and they had their rivalry throughout their careers, you know, and their friendship. They had moments of, you know, being on the same team and friendships for a few periods of time. They was frenemies. I called them the frenemies because they started like at the beginning of their career, you know, as, you know, rivals, and even to the end of their career, they retired a few months apart, you know. Trish inducted Lita into the Hall of Fame. You know, Trish was inducted the year before that. And they're real-life best friends. They hashtag Team Bestie. So, yeah, like Lita's, Amy Dumas, a.k.a. Lita, is the godmother of Trish Stratus's, I can't think of her, I'm going to call it, her real name. I'm just going to call it Trish Stratus. The godmother of her son. So yeah. But this isn't a Trish and Lita video. It's just a Lita video. But yeah, her retirement, the way the fans, when I was young, when that happened, like the way the fans like turned on her so quickly. I love the speech she says before when she announces that her match against Mickie James was Survivor Series, I think, was going to be her retirement match. And the speech she made before that, about saying, like, you people seem to forget who I am and what I've done. You know, I revolutionized women's roles in the company and stuff like that. And she did. She really did. And the way she went out, it was heartbreaking for me to watch. I hated the fuck out of it. You know? Because, you know, Lita was a major idol of mine growing up because she was so different. And I was a big wrestling fan. And like, you know, she said in that speech, you know, before me, all women was pretty much eye candy, which for the most part, yes, there's eye candy. They, you know, valeted for some dudes. There was some female matches, but there was a lot, most of it was sex symbols for the most part. And even though she kind of was a sex symbol, but she was very different. She backed up her shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's the one with the low pants and the thongs and everything, but she had that punk rock flavor added to her, that she wasn't, some princess esque role, like your Stephanie McMahon's or your Wildcats such as Sable, and stuff like that. I love Sable. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I will always love Lita. If she would have come back, like for real, even though she retired and she said she's done with that part of her life, even though she did do Tough Enough, I didn't get to watch that. Maybe I'll watch it one day. Um, but yeah, if she would have come back, especially her interest would have come back. Hell yeah, I would be watching wrestling. Like, cause back then the women's matches were the shit. It got to a point, when when the good ones were leaving female wrestlers, it became like bathroom breaks. That's how it felt. It felt like like, yeah, I'm gonna go get something to eat, or like I'm gonna go pee real quick. The matches didn't last that long, so it's like I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share. If there's a video you would like for me to watch, to react to, comment down below. Or you can follow me on Tumblr. I do reactions for. I'm about to start doing reactions for How to Get Away with Murder episodes. I do The Walking Dead, and when Orphan Black comes back, I'll be doing those as well. But if there's like a movie trailer you would like for me to react to, or something like this, um, yeah, comment down below. Let me know. Let me know. Uh, like, comment, subscribe. I said that probably like 3 times. Share. Come back, because Ashley will, because Ashley can.